Imagine the shock of discovering a hidden genius sweeping floors in your multi-million-dollar empire, a tale of buried talents, corporate intrigue, and life-changing revelations that echoes the American dream and the British spirit of resilience. In a world where underdogs rise and secrets shatter boardrooms, this story will grip you from the first word. If you're in the USA or UK, craving narratives that inspire and astonish, hit that subscribe button right now. Lock exclusive twists, behind-the-scenes, insights, and more stories that redefine success. Subscribe today and join thousands transforming. There lives one revelation at a time. In the gleaming skyscrapers of downtown Manhattan, where the pulse of Wall Street beat like a relentless drum, Alexander Thorne ruled as the iron-fisted CEO of Thorne Enterprises, a tech conglomerate worth billions. At 52, with salt and pepper hair and a gaze that could freeze lava, Alex had built his empire from a garage startup in Silicon Valley, embodying the quintessential American success story. His days were a whirlwind of board meetings, mergers, and high-stakes deals, leaving little room for the mundane. But one fateful evening, as the sun dipped below the Hudson River, casting long shadows across the empty offices, Alex lingered late, poring over quarterly reports in his corner suite. On the 50th floor, the building was silent, save for the distant hum of the city below and the faint swish of a mop echoing from the hallway. Curiosity picked after all. Who worked this late besides him? Alex stepped out, only to freeze in his tracks. There, under the fluorescent lights, was Miguel Santos, the night janitor. A quiet man in his mid-40s with weathered hands and a humble demeanor, mopping the executive lounge. But it wasn't the mopping that stopped Alex. It was the voices. Miguel was on his phone, switching seamlessly between languages as he spoke to what sounded like family members scattered across the globe. First fluent Spanish, then Portuguese, followed by French, German, Italian, Mandarin, Arabic, Russian, and even Japanese. 9 languages in total, each delivered with perfect intonation and cultural nuance. As if Miguel were a United Nations interpreter, moonlighting as a cleaner. Alex's jaw dropped. He had seen polyglots on TED Talks, but this, in his own building, hiding in plain sight. The CEO's mind raced. How had HR missed this? Who was this man really? Little did Alex know, this chance encounter would unravel secrets, forge unlikely alliances, and flip his company upside down in ways no merger ever could. Miguel Santos had immigrated to the US from a small village in Mexico 20 years ago, chasing the dream of a better life for his family. Back home, he was known as a linguistic prodigy, self-taught from borrowed books and radio broadcasts, absorbing languages like a sponge. But in America, opportunities for a non-degree holder were slim. He took the janitorial job at Thorne Enterprises 5 years prior, content with steady pay to support his wife and 3 kids in Queens. He kept his talents hidden, fearing judgment or exploitation, after all, in a corporate world obsessed with credentials. What good was speaking 9 languages without a fancy diploma? That night, as Alex eavesdropped, Miguel wrapped up his call, switching to English to mutter to himself about a stubborn stain. Alex cleared his throat, startling the janitor. "Excuse me, Miguel's that your name? I couldn't help but overhear. How many languages do you speak?" Miguel's eyes widened, his mop handle tightening in his grip. Just a few, sir. Family calls from different places." But Alex pressed, his business acumen sensing untapped potential. A few. That sounded like 9. Spanish, Portuguese, French. Am I right? Miguel nodded reluctantly, explaining his self-taught journey. Alex, ever the opportunist, saw $Thorne Enterprises was expanding globally, struggling with translation barriers in deals across Europe, Asia, and the Middle East. What if this janitor could bridge those gaps? "Come to my office tomorrow morning," Alex commanded, his tone brooking no argument. Miguel, bewildered but compliant, agreed, his heart pounding with a mix of fear and faint hope. The next day, the office buzzed with the usual frenzied in tailored suits, sipping lattes, interns scurrying with files, and the hum of printers spitting out proposals. Miguel arrived early, Still in his janitorial uniform, feeling like an intruder in the glass-walled conference rooms. Alex greeted him with a firm handshake and a stack of documents. Contracts in various languages from pending international deals. Translate these, Alex said bluntly. If you're as good as you sound, this could change everything. Miguel hesitated, then dove in, his eyes scanning the pages. Within hours, he not only translated, but corrected cultural missteps in the originals, nuances that could have derailed negotiations, a French clause that offended regional pride, a Mandarin phrasing implying unintended hierarchy, an Arabic term laden with historical baggage. Alex watched in awe as Miguel explained each fix, his explanations laced with insights from lived experiences and global news. By noon, Alex was convinced. "You're wasted mopping floors," he declared. "Starting today, you're my special advisor on international affairs. Double your salarino, triple it, and get out of that uniform." The news spread like wildfire through the office grapevine. Whispers turned to stares as Miguel, now in a borrowed suit, walked the halls. Jealousy simmered among the VPs. Who was this outsider leapfrogging the ladder? But Alex was adamant, promoting Miguel to a newly created role, Chief Linguistic Strategist. As weeks turned to months, Miguel's impact was profound. Thorn Enterprises closed deals in record time. A merger with a German tech firm that had stalled for years. A partnership in China that outmaneuvered competitors. Even a breakthrough in the Middle East market where cultural sensitivity won. The day revenue soared 30%, stock prices climbed, and Alex basked in the glory. Crediting his secret weapon in interviews, Miguel thrust into the spotlight, navigated the corporate world with quiet grace, mentoring junior staff on language basics and sharing stories of his humble beginnings. But beneath the success lurked shadows. Not everyone celebrated Miguel's rise. Victoria Hale, the ambitious VP of Operations, a Harvard grad with a chip on her shoulder, saw Miguel as a threat. "He's a janitor with a parlor trick," she sneered. In private emails leaked later, she began digging into Miguel's past, hiring a private investigator under the guise of due diligence. What she uncovered twisted the narrative. Miguel wasn't just a prodigy, he had a hidden history. In his youth, back in Mexico, he had been involved in an underground translation network for activists, smuggling information across borders during political unrest. Nothing illegal by US standards, but enough to paint him as unstable in corporate eyes. Victoria plotted to expose him, aiming to reclaim her spot as Alex's right hand. Meanwhile, Alex grew closer to Miguel, inviting him to family dinners at his penthouse overlooking Central Park. Alex's wife, Alina, a British expat from London, who had met Alex during his Oxford exchange program, was charmed by Miguel's tales of global cultures. Their son, teenage prodigy in his own right but struggling with dyslexia, found a mentor in Miguel who taught him memory tricks in multiple languages. Bonds formed, but Alex harbored his own secret. Thorn Enterprises was on shaky ground. Behind the facade of success, a rival company, led by cutthroat billionaire Marcus Black, was poaching clients and sabotaging deals. Alex needed Miguel more than ever for an upcoming summit in Dubai, when 9 languages would be key to sealing a massive oil tech alliance. But as preparations intensified, the first twist struck. During a late-night strategy session, Miguel received a cryptic call in Arabic from an old contact warning of danger. "They're coming for you," the voice said. Miguel dismissed it as paranoia from his past, but the next day, hackers breached Thorn's servers, leaking sensitive data. Fingers pointed internally, and Victoria pounced, presenting her evidence of Miguel's activist history to the board. "He's a security risk," she argued. Alex defended him fiercely, but doubt crept in. Was Miguel's rise too good to be true? The office tension boiled over at the annual company gala, held in a lavish ballroom with chandeliers sparkling like stars. USA and UK executives mingled, toasting to profits, but whispers about Miguel dominated. As Alex gave a speech praising his team, a bombshell dropped. An anonymous email circulated, revealing Miguel's past in detail, twisted to suggest espionage. Chaos ensued. Stock dipped overnight. Partners pulled back. Miguel, heartbroken, offered to resign. "I never meant to cause trouble, sir." But Alex, sensing foul play, launched his own investigation. Using Thorne's tech resources, he traced the leak to Victoria's IP address. Confronted, she confessed, driven by jealousy and a secret alliance with Marcus Black, who had promised her a CEO spot at his firm. The twist deepened. Victoria wasn't just ambitious, she was Marcus's niece, planted as a mole years ago. Alex fired her on the spot, but the damage was done. With the Dubai summit looming, trust fractured, Miguel vanished, leaving a note. "Must protect my family. Forgive me." Panic set in. Without Miguel, the summit was doomed. Translations botched, cultural faux pas inevitable. Alex, desperate, flew to Queens, pounding on Miguel's door. Inside, a modest apartment filled with books in every language. Miguel's wife, Maria, explained. The Arabic call was from a former ally, warning of Marcus Black's hit squad targeting linguistic experts to sabotage rivals. Miguel had gone